Right, hello and welcome to the trade of the day for the 4th of February. My name's Tom. I'm a senior trading analyst here at Trend Signal. And I want to run you through Monday's trades on the open of the NASDAQ market for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's interesting. It's a really nice smooth move that we can show off. But also, it lets me give an opportunity to show you how being a little bit more advanced and looking for special types of entries can actually get you a better result on top of an already existing pretty good trade. So let's jump into things. This is our 2 minute time frame, looking mostly at indices. Today we're going to be trading the NASDAQ, which is kind of an unofficial third market for us on lower time frames. We mostly look at the US 30 in German, but the NASDAQ gives plenty of good opportunity as well, especially during the afternoon session where most of the action is. The way that this strategy works is we look for rotations of momentum in the market. So every single time these black arrows flip, it's the end of any previous trade that we may have taken, and we start looking for a new position. Doesn't mean the position's strong enough though. There's a 5-step process to identifying if these trades are going to be worth your time in the first place. In this particular market, it's only 4 steps as we miss something called the R ratio. It's not needed on the NASDAQ. Basically, it's just making sure the market is volatile enough. And pretty honestly, anytime you're looking to trade the NASDAQ, it's going to be pretty volatile. It's a good fun market to jump into. So let's go through these one at a time. I'll show you what the trades did, and we'll talk a little bit about how you can try to do this for yourself as well. So step one is finding that arrow flip and considering where that arrow flip has occurred. So on the previous motion, and this is the open of the market, by the way, at 2:30, we don't trade into the open, so we avoid the initial losing trade. That's just a rule by itself. You don't trade the exact candle or the open is up to you if you choose to follow that or not. So we don't take this, we don't take the loser. The candle hits the arrow, we flip back down, and we get an arrow inside this blue band you see at the bottom, we call PE3. When it's inside, that means the market hasn't been sufficiently stretched the opposite way. So to the downside in this case, we've come from a recent high into the mid band, markets open, a little bit of volatility, and we continue that rise up. Where it's inside, we use a separate set of 3 rules. So step 2, make sure momentum is in your favor on the shortest time frames. We do that with the vector average. It's a little bit hard to see here because the movement was so quick, so it compresses the part of the chart before the market's open. But you'll see some red splotches in here, some green splotches. By the time we look to enter this long trade, both of these vector average lines, and I'll zoom in a little bit just to make it a bit more obvious. That didn't really help too much, to be fair. You can see that they're both green, indicating short-term momentum in our favor. We then go to step 3, which is looking for candlestick position. Now, with a low energy trade, we want to give plenty of space for the trade to breathe across the midline and make sure we're actually catching a trend and not just kind of a flip flop sideways through the home plate, as it were, of the PE1 bands, the black lines. So we want to have our candle open or close above purple PE2, which you'll notice isn't the start. We actually wait 2 minutes and get in after the initial move up. Now, there is actually a way to do better than this. We'll come back to that later on. Finally, because it's inside the band, we need to make sure that we're trading in the same direction of the trend. This changes between orange and blue. You can't really see it here because it's been a very bullish day, but being blue is perfectly fine. We can take it with a long trade. So all those conditions being met, we get our entry for the trade. I'm just going to compress this down a little bit to rescue my lines. So we use the red line for our stop loss. Our black arrow becomes our emergency exit. This ratchets over time as the trade continues, locking in profit and taking on risk and making sure you're not being too greedy. We then have our entrance with the green line, which, as I say, is on the close of the candle, just about there. And from there, there's 2 ways that you can run the trade, really. You have the passive approach from locking in the stop loss as you go. This climbs up over time. Eventually, we can break even before closing in as the market starts to push more sideways for a period of consolidation. If you'd have taken this move from open to the black arrow, nice and simple, it's 111 pips worth of movement. If you'd have taken the best possible opportunity, which is at the top of this green candle, you're looking at 167 pips worth of movement. Now, bear in mind, nobody's going to get 167 pips. The idea is you get somewhere between 111 and 167. The better you are at it, the more training you do, the more likely you are to take the majority of that move. It's what we teach in our ongoing workshops for existing clients. As I mentioned, there is actually a better way to handle this trade. So what you can do instead is look for the continuation entry, which if we look just as the open comes into effect, what we have is a vector average turning from red to green in line with the trend. It is very hard to see where it's compressed here. But what that means is instead you can get an entry a little bit lower down Instead of 167 pips from that movement, the best movement there generates 257 pips. A substantial improvement, and honestly, something that you can spot quite easily with a little bit of training. Regardless, though, even if you didn't get that earlier entry, we do get another opportunity to take more out of the markets as we get across to just after 3 o'clock. What happens first? We flip over, we follow the same rules, we successfully avoid the short trade. Open or close of the candle needs to be below the purple PE2 line. It clearly doesn't happen. So we just sit on our hands for 6 minutes, flip over, and we get another stab at the market. Same rules apply, and they're all correct. Go through them very quickly. Arrow flip inside the band. So we use the same set of rules for a lower energy trade. The market's not stretched to the downside. Green vector averages. Candle needs to open or close above purple PE2, and the trend line itself needs to support the movement, which it does. On here, by the way, this did close underneath where it's progressed through. These bands move. It looks a little bit confusing if it's under or over. I was trading at the time. I can tell you it was a trade worth taking. Sorry, I meant the bottom of the candle was over, but it looks a little bit distorted because of the way the candles evolve. So stop loss goes in here, entry at the start of the movement, and we follow the exact same process. Lock in with the black arrows as you go through. If you took that movement to there, it's not as nice a trade, but it's still a profit. What you ended up with was 51 pips worth of movements. The best possible opportunity, coming up a little bit higher, was 98 pips. And this is something you can do repeatedly through the day. We go into a period of consolidation where it's not quite as easy, but you can do it with some practice. And then the market continues until the close at 9 p.m. Putting that all together, I talked a lot about pips, but what does this actually mean for you? Well, if you're trading at £1 per pip, a beginner kind of size account, just while you're practicing, just taking the best moves, it's about £355 worth of potential. If you're looking for the black arrow moves, which you may do when you're newer, your first move was £111 and your second move was £51. If you're somebody who's a little bit more experienced, so you would have seen the continuation trade, you're probably also trading on a larger account, either because you've seen success and put more money into it, or you're just leaving your trades in there to compound up over a time. If you're trading at £3 per pip, the best move that you could have made on these two trades would have made you £1,065. And we're only talking the best part of about an hour's worth of trading to see that opportunity. If you want to trade in this style, learn more about it, and actually trade along live with us, we do a live trading room. We're going to be having one later today at 7 o'clock. So pop in, ask us questions. Yes, we will teach you the boring stuff like the risk management and the rules and so on. But we'll also trade with you, bring a live accountant if you want to, and try to earn some money while you get some education. Or just sit back and watch and see how the experts do it. There'll be a link around this video. Hopefully I'll see you in there.